Life's a journey, but it's filled with love. I can speak my mind. I can heal my soul. It's all about wellness. I got full control. Yeah, that's the goal.
Thank you for tuning in to HWJTV. This is Winnie. Today I'm here with Miss Miranda Evans, MBA. Thank you so much for opening your office and speaking with me today.
Of course.
It's so special, and I'm thankful to have her here on the show today because today's show is about female authors, and I know that you are an author as well as you are helping other female authors as well. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So a little bit about me. I am 26 years old and I've published 2 books. The first one is Troubled by Miranda Evans, which is my life story, my memoir, starting from when I was 11 years old. My dad was murdered by his girlfriend, so he was a victim of domestic violence. And the book goes all the way up until I'm 21 years old, where I graduated from Sam Houston. It just basically talks about my troubled teen life. I am a sexual abuse survivor, so I was molested by my stepdad from 12 to 14 or 12 to 13 before I really spoke out about it. And I was raped at 16. So I have dealt with abuse, mental, emotional, psychological, because these are all types of abuse. So I try to explain like each type of abuse. So I've experienced that. I've experienced depression, mental illness, I've attempted suicide. All of this happened when I was a teenager. My first book, Troubled, is about that stage, starting from when I lost my father all the way up until 21 when I graduated college. So you get to see that 10-year span, like everything I went through, bad and good. The second book that I wrote is called Renewed Strength, and it's based on Isaiah 40:31. And it's the subtitle is Steps to Becoming a Survivor. And for each letter in Survivor, it's an acronym, so it's a step. So the first S is like self-love and understanding your life and so on and so on. This year I hope to release my third book that will be a continuation of the first book.
It's beautiful to hear how your background has not only been able to help you, but help other people, and you've kind of turned that into a movement. Talking about the writing process, what led you to even pick up a pen or paper and say, let's write a book?
Well, I've always been someone who journaled because when I was a teenager going through those things, I never talked to people. I didn't express my feelings. Me and my mom had a rough relationship, so I couldn't really talk to her about anything. So I had journals like stacked up. Like I even to this day, I have a journal for everything. So I would write. My mom says I've been writing since I was like 2 years old. So the funny story is when I graduated from Sam and I came back to Houston, God woke me up at 2 in the morning and I jumped out of my sleep and I grabbed a legal pad and a pen and I just started writing about that 11-year-old girl who had just found out her dad was murdered. Why I woke up out of my sleep to write, I have no idea. That's why I say God woke me up. But I started writing and then once I started, it's like I couldn't stop. So I had to tell the whole story. Like me getting out all of this pain that I had held in for so long. And then with the rape, when I was raped at 16, no one knew about that. I just had to let it all out. Everywhere I went, work, school, I was typing, like writing this book. Like literally I wrote it at my desk at work. And so when I finished, it was 100 pages. And I printed it all out and it's just this big stack of papers. And I stared at it and I'm like, well, what can I do with this? I love to read. I'm an avid reader. And I'm like, I can make this a book. I really think this could be a book. I have to share my story. And I started putting together, that's what I was supposed to do with it. I was supposed to share my story and my testimony. I started Googling how to self-publish. I read books to try to figure out how they were set up as far as the dialogue. And I started to research and I researched myself into a self-published book. A year later, this was 2014, a year later I met my mentor, Charlie Marco, who was also an author. I met her at church. And I had this cardboard box with my books in it and I was excited and I'm selling them at church during this event. And she has like this beautiful table set up with her books and it was just amazing. And so she came up to me and she's from Dallas. So she was like, sis, you can't sell your books out of a cardboard box. So I'm gonna get you right and I'm gonna take you under my wing and I'm gonna show you how to really do this. And she introduced me to her designer, her editor, because I had edited the book like 20 times by myself. So it wasn't properly edited and completed professionally. We revamped the book with a whole different cover design. It was completely edited. and we re-released it November of 2015.
Another woman approached you, and her wellness journey, of course, is about women in community. And that's special because women reaching out to women and helping. When you see there's a gap and you can help somebody using those gifts, using those talents or knowledge or wisdom, even in this case, for your mentor to say, listen, let me help you out. And I say, ha, and just
laughing at me.
Yeah. And from that, look what's come from it. And now I know you're helping other people and authors,
I pass
correct?
the torch. If someone mentored me and helped me, then I can mentor and help others.
What advice would you give someone that is saying, I think I want to write a book?
There's a really good book called Infinite Words by Zane that I recommend every aspiring writer reads.
After Troubled Movement and kind of doing some of the work you're doing in the community, I know you do a lot for other youth. Can you tell us about your programs, where you're helping and how you're servicing other youth?
Okay, so the Trouble Movement, which is the other side of me, is a youth nonprofit organization, and this is our third year. We've been a 501c3 since October 5th, 2016. We help teens and young adults, so 13 to 25 is our range, but I really focus on that 13 to 18 stage, and we partner them with a mentor, and then we assign them a mentee based on personality tests. And we also have a really big education program where we do a 5K walk every year to raise money for scholarships and to bring awareness to the community about the importance of education. We have a Heroes and Survivors program. So we raise money for that. I named the fund after my father. So it's called the Randy Evans Survivor Fund, and we raise money for it to help victims of domestic violence that are stuck in situations, or maybe they have children and maybe they're leaving the situation and they need resources, things like that. We partner with a domestic violence organization called the Butterfly Project, and we kind of have a strategic partnership to where if she needs funds or a survivor pack or items donated, then we'll fund that. So, and then every year on March 14th, which is the day my dad passed, I do a campaign called Purple for Randy. So I make everybody wear something purple, and they post it on social media and hashtag Purple for Randy. So
I'm glad that you're helping other women, and you as well. You're writing a book because my whole motivation is tell your story. Don't let anybody dictate your story. You tell your story. This is our narrative. This is our life. Don't allow someone else to portray who you are on TV or in movies. You tell it. You do it. You make a profit off of it. And don't let other people depict it because they're going to put their spin on it. And shine a light on you that you may or may not want. So write your book, start your show, produce a movie, do something to tell your story. If it's a song, whatever it is, on whatever budget you have, do it. And do it today, tomorrow, soon. Because when you're gone, your story is left.
With you.
So writing books, and that's why I wanted to do this episode, because I feel like if your gift, like you said, from an early age, your gift was writing. If that's your gift, or if not your gift, but you have a story, there's people like yourself out there that can help
you get it out.
Get your story out there. Tell your story.
We have to do it afraid and just step out on faith. I quit a full-time salary job with benefits to create the Trouble Movement. So that was a big leap of faith for me. Like I said, you know what? My heart and my life and my purpose is in this nonprofit. So I had to step out on faith and say bye to my corporate accounting job just so I can start the Trouble Movement.
How can people get in contact with you if they needed more information, if they want to see how they can give their time or donations? How can people get in contact with you for that?
To learn more about the Trouble Movement, please visit www.thetroublemovement.org, where you can donate, you can sign up to volunteer, you can become a mentor or a mentee. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Troubled Movement. And you may also visit www.mirandaevans.com to learn more about my bookkeeping services, my writing services, and how you can become the you that you want to be. You can follow me at Elements of Me on all social medias.
Thank you again for tuning into HWJ-TV. I hope you enjoyed this segment. If you are watching it online, please take pen and paper, replay it. If you're watching it on TV, make sure you check your listings for the next time, because there's so much that was given in this interview, and I hope that you took it all in. Reach out to this lady because she is definitely a gem and someone to have in your back pocket and on your team.